Hey YouTube, this is Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and we are back with another Leaks of the Week. This week we are just continuing off with Giganto, Nanoha, and SAO2 trial decks. And we did skip another day. We skipped Wednesday or Tuesday, I believe, because it was another holiday, so another fairly short video this week. But yeah, before we get started, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Gigant cards. Apparently they're really big, as their name suggests, Gigant, gigantic. Yeah, this is how big they are. Yeah, that's a better comparison. So if you guys can't tell, it's a lot bigger, and apparently they feel different. And just wait until you touch the actual card. Apparently they feel different, so I thought that was really cool. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. But yeah, the only problem I see with this is that how our Gigan player is gonna get sleeves for these cards because they're so big, and I don't know if they're gonna fit in deck boxes either. So maybe Bushiro is gonna have to start pumping out special sleeves for Gigant. I don't know, because I don't really see sleeves that go bigger than a Weiss sleeve or a Magic sleeve, you know. So thought that was interesting, but I still think it's a really cool idea. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. But with that out of the way, let's just get started with this week. So Monday's leak is this guy here, 3210K R2 Soul, Cotton, and Gigant, or Gigant. So what he does is when all your characters are Giganto, he gets plus 1K, and he heals on play. Honestly, I think this card is pretty crappy. I believe this is the only healer we've seen so far, and it's honestly a pretty bad one. Its first effect is like whatever. I haven't seen a card that's not a Gigant yet, so I assume this first effect is always going to be active, and it heals. Like it's just pretty much 11K vanilla healer. Very lackluster, but if it's the only healer in the set, then I assume you're gonna have to be running 2 to 4 of this guy just for the heal, because you know heal is always good. And unless they have anti-heal, but as of right now they do not have anti-heal, so unfortunately I think you'll be forced to run this guy at least 2 to 4 of in your Gigant builds, which sucks. Hopefully they get a better healer than this guy, but that's all I have to say for that guy. Next up, I think this card is pretty cool. So what this is, it's a double R. It's the first double R shown for the new Nanoha booster. But what she does is she's 3/2 10K double R. She's Hayate, Magic, and Book. So what she does is when she's played from hand to stage, draw 2, discard a card, and then that effect works pretty well with her other effects. So what she does is during the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay 2, discard 2 cards with Hayate or Rain in their name. If you do, choose one of your opponent's character, it gains the following ability until the end of this turn. That card cannot deal any damage to players. So, you know, the draw two ditch one is honestly meh, it's whatever. But I think the second effect is really cool. I actually really like this effect because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Bushiroad is like they're pumping out all these really crazy game enders like Tachibana from Nisekoi. The new Kirito from Gigant is a pretty cool game ender as well. And you know, we got Musashi, we got Mako, Ryuko, uh, you know, just a bunch of really cool, good game enders are coming out recently. Uh, so I think this is a really good card, and you know, I think it's a really cool card to come out nowadays. The cost is very heavy. You have to discard 2 cards, specifically with Haite or Rain, which really sucks. But and you have to pay 2. It's very heavy, but if it's going to win you the game, then I think it's all worth it because the cards can stop a lot of things like you know, UD Bay from Angel Beats. I'm sure a lot of people know what this card is by now, just because Angel Beats is very popular and it's out in the States. And this card is very strong. Pay 4 to go for precise damage. Very good effect. But something like Hayate just stops that completely, and all she really does for the turn is just gain you a stock. You don't even really have to use this on a game-ending card. If you're like at 3/5, you can just target one of your opponent's level 3s, or if you're at like a 3/4, 3/3. You know, it doesn't matter. You can just use this card effect, and you take 1 less attack for the turn, which is very powerful. Even if you're not playing against a deck with a crazy game ender, I think this card is still good. The only problem I really see with this card is the fact that you have to discard Hayate or Rains. Not a lot of good Hayate or Rain cards, from what I know. I don't know that much about Nanoha, but I have a friend who plays it, so I have a bit of knowledge about it. But not that many good Hayate or Rain cards. The best ones that pop in my head is the 2/1 assist and the card, the level 3 that goes along with it, and along with the bonder for this card, and then the 500 in front assist. I think these are like the best 4 cards. I can't find the fourth card right now, but you know, not very. Not, the point is, there's not a lot of good Rain or Hayate cards out right now, and yeah, that's I think the only real thing holding this card back. You know, you can't really have a very competitive Hayate or Rain deck in my opinion, with this card. But if the new booster gives really good level 1s or level 0s in the form of Hayate and or Reigns, I think this card will be very solid, and I really do hope there will be good Hayate or Reign cards coming out in the new booster, because if so, I think this card will be really good. And I think this card's really cool. I like the idea of this card, so, we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, I think it's good, but the only real problem is the fact that there's not too many good Hayate or Reigns. So, yeah, I like the card. Like I said, we jumped to the 24th because the 23rd was a public holiday in Japan. So yeah. So we'll go to this girl. Is 0025. She's R. She's Gigant. She's drunk. I think this card's really good too. So what this card does is when this card declares an attack, you may pay cost, which is pay 1, clock yourself 1 damage. If you do, choose 1 Gigant character from your waiting room and return it to your hand. I think this card is just really good in general because pay 1 to clock yourself to plus. Those effects are always really good. Like Rewrite has it. That card's really good. Little Busters has it. That Little Busters Riki is like $20, I think, last time I checked. It's just ridiculously overpriced. Inazuma, really good in Kontai. Those are faster because those are on play. However, this one is on attack. The benefit this card has over those on play pay 1 clock searchers is that this one has no restriction because you can search any Gigant character, while the other on-play searchers can only grab level 1s and lower. And, this card does have its uses. Since it's on attack, you can do stuff like, you have 3 characters. The first character attacks, triggers a climax. Then you attack with her next. You pay out the climax. And, yeah, it helps you gain a clean stock. And, and you get to search anything when you're waiting room. There's no level restriction, like I said, unlike the other on-play searchers. So, because of those 2 reasons, I think this card is just very good, and I think it will be pretty staple in all Gigant builds. I'd say I run 2 to 3 of this card. I don't think you need 4 of this card. 4 would be overkill, but definitely 2 to 3 of this card I think is very good in any Gigant build. So, yeah. And there is another card on the 24th. It's an SAO2 trial deck card, but if you guys have not seen this week's episode, then this card is a pretty big spoiler, so I'm not going to show the exact card, but I will show you a card that is very similar to this card, which is this little Uiharu here. So what this Uiharu does, it's 0025. If you have 1 or less other character, it gains plus 1 level and plus 1k. The SAO2 trial deck card is very similar to this, except that it's red, and it has a second effect. The second effect is the spoiler part, and it's the part I don't want to reveal, just because I don't like spoilers. I personally don't really like spoilers, and the leak for this, the second leak is a spoiler, so I just rather not show you guys. You guys haven't seen the episode, and you guys see it, a couple of you guys might be bummed out, so I just won't show it. The second effect, as of right now, is very pointless, so there's no real point in me showing you guys. The point of that card is that it's a 0025 with plus 1 level and plus 1k if you have 1 or less characters. It's good. It's in red. It's avatar. It's a net character, I believe. And plus 1k plus 1 level is very good, and especially if you need 1 or less characters, so you can have a 500 assist in the back with it. And it could be a 4k level 1. It could hit the same thing as like the solo player Kirito, except it's in red. So I think the card is good. Yeah, I just think the card is good. Cards like that you can never go wrong with, and it's in red, so it's totally splashable. So that's all I have to say for the card. Next, I'll go to Thursday, which is this girl here, 116k. She's R. She's Gigant. For every other Gigant character on your backstage, this card gains plus 500 power, and she has Hand Encore. So essentially, she can be a 117k with Hand Encore. Nothing special. I mean, every new series are getting these generic 1-1 hand encores / clock encores. Nothing special. Pretty easy to fill her conditions because by level 1 you ideally want to have your back row filled up, and they don't have to be. They could be any card. They don't have to be like level 0s. They don't have to be assists. They could be any card in the back row. So it's alright. I mean, it's a 117k hand encore. Nothing special, nothing bad. So, it just kind of depends on what the set has to offer. If the level 1 game is lacking encore or just lacking in power, then I guess you could run this girl and, just try to sustain yourself to level 2 or level 3. So yeah, that's all I have to say for her. And next up is Nanoha 0025 Common Magic and Weapon. Her effect is this ability can be activated once per turn. When you use an active or startup ability, this card gains plus 2k until the end of this turn. So ideally she can hit 0045. Honestly, still not that great. I can't really think of a way for Nanoha to consistently get this auto effect off for her to hit 4-5. But even though if you can, still not that great because it's only a 0045, and on defending, it's only a 0025, so it's going to die regardless. Yeah, just this card's not that great, to be completely honest, because you need another card for it to hit the 4-5, a very situational card for it to hit 4-5, and it's not that great because it's just going to die anyways next turn. So it's whatever. It's a good reason why it's a common. It's sexy and all, so I guess you could run it if you really like Nanoha, but honestly, I wouldn't run it. And lastly, Friday's leak is nothing too crazy. So first up is this Kirito 1045 Avatar and Weapon. He is one of the trial deck exclusives in the new trial deck. And what he does is when you have 3 or more Avatar or net characters, his card gains plus 1k, and he has Hand Encore. So if you have 3 or more characters, he's a 1055 with Hand Encore. Honestly, not a bad effect. I really like 1055s with Encore of some form. I think they're really good. It's a really good way for you to generate a lot of stock. But I don't know. I think this card is overshadowed by the Invitation to Party Asuna. I'm sure you guys know what that card is, but I'll pull it out anyways. Yeah, I think the card is overshadowed by this Asuna Invitation to Party, just because this card already hits 5-5 power. It's a bond target mainly. The bond, it pluses you in hand size. And this card already has a great climax combo. I think this card is just really good, even without this climax combo. The bond engine, I think, is what makes Asuna really good. And I think because of Asuna, I don't think this Kirito is very good. And the Kirito is in blue. And honestly, blue's not that good of a card. Or, like, blue's not that good of a color. So, like, if you want to run this card, you're going to force yourself to run blue. But why not just run the already really good yellow color and run the Asuna along with it, because the Asuna is already really good. So, honestly, this Kirito's not that bad. But I think the Asuna overshadows it. And the Kirito's in blue, and like I said, blue not that great. But if you're just starting out, and you're just starting out buying this trial deck, then this Kirito is really good for you because yeah, if you're buying the trial deck, starting this game, this Kirito is awesome because this Asuna is really expensive. It's like $10 to $15. I'm not too sure, but this card is expensive for us. So if you're starting out, then I think this is a great card. But if you have a really good SAO deck, I think Asuna is gonna be better. But with that out of the way, we'll go up to this next card. It's the 001K. He's R, he's classes, he's Gigant. What he does is he's a 500 global for all Gigant characters. And his other effect is pretty bad in my opinion. You can pay to rest this card, or build the top 4 cards of your deck and place them to the waiting room. For every climax amongst those cards, you can choose 1 climax from your waiting room and return it to your hand. So first off, the 500 global is, really good. And these cards that are assist and have brainstorm are really good, just like Umi. However, this brainstorm is really terrible because you have to pay 2 for this brainstorm. The advantage of brainstorm is that you only pay 1, and you have a potential chance of plussing, and you get to compress yourself. But paying 2 just completely changes everything. Paying 2 is just far too stock intensive, and you don't really get the value of the brainstorm as you normally would with a pay 1 plus brainstorm. And the thing this card grabs is a climax. Grabbing climax is honestly not that great unless you have a really crazy climax combo. But even then, paying 2 is just far too heavy. And if you don't hit anything with this brainstorm, you pretty much pay 2 for an extremely, extremely expensive brainstorm, and that's not worth it in my opinion. If he's the only 500 global in the series, I think Gigant players will just use him for the 500 global and the optional every now and then situationally good pay to brainstorm. I think if people are going to use this brainstorm, they're either really desperate, they're going to grab a climax that's going to win them the game, or they really need to clean out their stock and they have no better way than using this guy. So unfortunately, the brainstorm is really expensive. However, the 500 global is this card's saving grace. So If he's only 500 global, like I said, you might just have to run him and use the brainstorm, when you can. And that's honestly all the leaks for this week. Fairly short video this week, but there is another card they announced on Saturday, which is this cockroach here. So this is just a troll card. This card is not real. It's just something really funny Bushiroad did because I don't know if you guys know, but there's a new anime that started last Saturday called Terraformars, and it's in the anime there's these giant cockroaches, and I read the mangas, so I already know what this guy's all about, and the manga's really awesome. So if you guys don't know what Terraformars is, I highly advise you watch the anime because it's really cool. It's action packed. The characters are cool. The story's interesting, and the powers, how they synergize with these bug powers is really fascinating. But yeah, I'll just go with this card. It's level 5, 0 cost. I don't even know what the power. I don't even know what that means. It's G, whatever that means. He has 4 soul. The card's hilarious. He's bug and he's muscle. What he does is when this card is revealed, you may pay cost, which is pay 1, click this card. If you do, visit the Terraformars website and wait until the TV anime starts airing. A little late, but they showed this card before the anime started. So I think it's hilarious. I think it's really cool that Bushiroad did this. But yeah, just a funny card. And Terraformars is getting a Weiss set. If you guys don't know, I think the trial deck comes out in December. I don't remember if Checkers is going to buy the set or is going to buy the trial deck. I don't know. I'll ask him again. I haven't seen that guy in a while, anyways. But yeah, that is all for this week. Honestly, nothing too exciting. I think the best card this week is definitely this Hayate. I think this Hayate is really cool. I really hope there are better Hayate or Rain cards coming out, because if so, I think this card goes from potentially good to playable good. And this Gigan card is really good. The spoiler card is also not bad because it's a 0/0 potential 3/5 +1 level. +1 level at level 0 is always welcome. And yeah, Thursday's leaks lackluster. Friday's leaks extremely lackluster. What the fuck is up with this card? But yeah, that is all I have to say for this week, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, and until next time.